Lyra looked out the small window of her spaceship as it flew through the vast, dark space. Her heart raced with fear and excitement. She was leaving her war-torn planet, Zolara, behind. The loud noises of battle and the cries of her people faded away. Now she was heading to Earth, a place she had heard many stories about. On Zolara, Lyra had seen cruelty every day. She remembered the nights when she hid under her bed, shaking with fear as the bombs exploded outside. Her people had always warned her about humans. They said humans were selfish and cruel, always ready to fight. Lyra had learned to expect danger from them, but now she hoped to find something different. As her spaceship entered Earth's atmosphere, Lyra felt a mix of fear and hope. She had come to this planet searching for peace, but what if she found only more pain? Would humans be as bad as her leaders said? Would they hurt her? Lyra took a deep breath and prepared for landing. The spaceship landed with a soft thud on a green field. Lyra stepped out and was surprised by the fresh smell of grass and flowers. It was unlike anything she had ever known. She felt the sun warm her skin, a feeling she had forgotten. With cautious steps, she looked around, her heart pounding. Suddenly, Lyra saw a figure approaching. It was a human. Her body tensed as she prepared to run, but the human just smiled. He had brown hair and friendly eyes that sparkled in the sunlight. Lyra felt a strange mix of fear and curiosity. "Hi there, I'm Alex," the human said, waving his hand. His voice was warm and inviting. "Are you okay? You look a bit lost." Lyra took a step back. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice shaky. "I'm just a regular guy. I saw your spaceship land and wanted to check on you," Alex replied, still smiling. "I won't hurt you, I promise." Lyra was not sure what to think. She had been trained to distrust humans, but there was something different about Alex. He seemed genuine. Her instincts told her to run, but she felt drawn to him. I am Lyra," she said slowly. "I come from Zolara." "Zolara? I haven't heard of it. But I bet it's a beautiful place," Alex said, taking a step closer. He had a kind smile that made Lyra feel a little safer. "Do you need help?" Lyra hesitated. She could feel her heart beating fast. All her life, she had heard that humans were dangerous, but here was Alex offering help without asking for anything in return. Maybe, just maybe, he was different. "Yes, I need help," Lyra finally said. "I am looking for a safe place." "Then let's find one together," Alex said, his eyes shining with excitement. "Come on. I know just the spot." Lyra followed him, still unsure but curious. They walked through the green field, and Lyra felt the grass under her feet. It was soft and cool, so different from the hard ground of her home. Birds chirped overhead, and she looked up, amazed at the bright blue sky. As they walked, Alex told her about Earth. He spoke of its many wonders. The oceans, the mountains, and the cities filled with lights. Lyra listened, fascinated. She had never imagined a world so full of beauty and life. "What is your home like?" Alex asked, glancing at her. "It is different," Lyra replied slowly. "We fight for survival. There is no peace, only war." Alex's smile faded a little. "I'm sorry to hear that, but you're safe here, I promise." Lyra looked at him, searching his face for any signs of deceit, but all she saw was sincerity. "You are not like the others," she said quietly. "What do you mean?" Alex asked, raising an eyebrow. "I expected cruelty. But you show kindness," Lyra explained, feeling more comfortable. "Kindness is what we need more of in the world," Alex replied. "We can change things, you know, together." They arrived at a small park with trees and a playground. Children laughed and played, their voices ringing with joy. Lyra watched them, her heart feeling heavy and light at the same time. She longed for this kind of happiness, but feared it was out of reach. "Do you want to sit?" Alex asked, pointing to a bench under a big tree. "Yes, please," Lyra replied, feeling tired. They sat down, and for the first time, Lyra felt a sense of calm. As they talked and shared stories, Lyra realized that maybe not all humans were cruel. Perhaps there was hope for friendship and joy, even after all she had experienced. Maybe this was the beginning of something new. Learning to trust. Lyra sat on the bench under the big tree, watching the children play. Their laughter filled the air, and for the first time, she felt a small spark of happiness. Next to her, Alex was telling her about his life on Earth. He spoke with excitement about his family, friends, and the things he loved to do. "On weekends, I like to go hiking in the mountains," Alex said, his eyes shining. "The view from the top is amazing. You can see the whole world." Lyra listened, intrigued. On Zolara, she had never seen mountains or large bodies of water. She had only known the dusty ground and the noise of war. "Mountains sound beautiful," she replied. "I would like to see them one day." Alex smiled. "You will. I can take you there. There's so much to explore here." Lyra felt a rush of hope. Maybe this was a new beginning for her. But as she looked at Alex, doubts crept back in. Could she really trust him? What if he was like the others she had known? "Why are you being so kind to me?" Lyra asked suddenly. "Don't you fear me? I am an alien." Alex shook his head. "No, I don't fear you. I see you as a person, not just an alien. You deserve kindness just like anyone else." Lyra was surprised. His words made her heart feel warm. She had always thought humans saw her as a monster. Instead, Alex saw her as a friend. As days passed, Lyra and Alex spent more time together. They explored parks, visited museums, and walked through busy streets. Each moment brought new joy and new experiences. Lyra watched people smile at each other, share food, and help one another. It was a sight she had never seen before. One afternoon, they walked through a bustling marketplace, filled with bright colors and rich smells. Lyra felt overwhelmed by the noise and energy. People were laughing, selling fruits, and talking loudly. She grabbed Alex's arm tightly. "What is happening?" she asked, eyes wide with wonder. "This is a farmer's market. People come to buy fresh food and local goods. It's a fun place to be," Alex explained, pulling her gently forward. "You'll love it." Lyra hesitated but followed him. They stopped at a fruit stand where Alex picked up a shiny apple. "Try this," he said, handing it to her. Lyra took the apple, examining it closely. It was red and smooth, unlike any fruit she had seen on Zolara. "What is this?" she asked. "It's an apple. They're really sweet and tasty," Alex replied, smiling. Lyra took a bite, and her eyes widened in surprise. The taste was delightful, sweet, and juicy. She couldn't help but smile. "This is amazing," she exclaimed. "See, there's so much to enjoy here," Alex said, pleased to see her happy. As they continued walking, Lyra started to relax. She felt a sense of belonging that she had never experienced before. But deep inside, her fears still lingered. What if Alex changed? What if he showed his true colors later? One evening, as the sun began to set, Alex and Lyra sat on a grassy hill overlooking the city. The sky turned shades of orange and pink, and the lights of the city began to twinkle. Lyra looked at the beautiful scene, her heart full of wonder. "Lyra," Alex said, breaking the peaceful silence, "I want you to know that you can trust me. I will always be here for you." Lyra turned to him, searching his eyes. "But how can I be sure? I have always known betrayal." Alex reached for her hand, gently holding it. "I understand. Trust takes time. I'm not asking you to forget your past. Just give me a chance to show you that I care." Lyra felt the warmth in her chest. It was scary, but maybe this was what trust felt like. She squeezed his hand back, a small smile forming on her lips. "I will try," she said softly. From that day on, Lyra worked hard to trust Alex. They shared stories about their lives, their dreams, and their fears. She opened up about her past on Solara, the struggles she faced, and the pain she had endured. Alex listened, nodding, and never judged her. In return, Alex told her about his own struggles, his family problems, the pressure of school, and the challenges he faced growing up. Lyra found comfort in their shared experiences. They laughed and cried together, forming a bond that felt unbreakable. As their friendship grew, Lyra began to let her guard down. She found joy in simple things, like sharing meals, watching movies, and enjoying nature. Each moment with Alex chipped away at her fears and doubts. But one night, Lyra had a nightmare. She dreamed of her home on Solara, filled with chaos and fear. She woke up in a cold sweat, her heart racing. Confused and scared, she got out of bed and went outside to breathe. Alex was sitting on the porch, looking at the stars. He noticed Lyra and immediately stood up. "Lyra, are you okay?" he asked, concern in his voice. "I had a bad dream," Lyra admitted, feeling vulnerable. "Want to talk about it?" Alex asked gently. Lyra took a deep breath, knowing this was another step in learning to trust. "I dreamed of Solara. I saw the war again," she confessed. Alex moved closer, offering his support. "It's okay to feel scared. You're safe here with me." Lyra looked into his eyes and felt a sense of comfort. Maybe this was what trust truly meant. She nodded, realizing she was ready to let go of the past and embrace a new future. An unexpected adventure. Lyra woke up one bright morning with excitement bubbling inside her. She and Alex had planned a trip to the nearby mountains. The thought of seeing tall trees and fresh air made her heart race. For the first time in her life, she felt truly hopeful. "Are you ready for an adventure?" Alex called out, standing by his car. He was wearing a bright yellow shirt, and his smile was contagious. Lyra nodded, her eyes shining. "I've never been to the mountains before." "Then you're in for a treat," Alex said as they got into the car. As they drove, Lyra looked out the window, amazed by the changing landscape. The flat fields turned into rolling hills, and soon they were surrounded by tall trees and fresh, green grass. When they arrived at the foot of the mountains, Lyra felt a mix of fear and excitement. The mountains were huge, their peaks touching the clouds. "They are so big," Lyra whispered in awe. "They are, but don't worry, we'll take it slow. We can go at your pace," Alex reassured her. They began their hike, and Lyra marveled at the beauty around her. Birds chirped in the trees, and colorful flowers peeked out from the grass. Each step made her feel more alive. As they climbed higher, Lyra felt a sense of freedom she had never known on Solara. "Look at that view," Alex shouted, pointing to a clearing ahead. They reached the top of a small hill, and Lyra gasped. The sight was breathtaking. The valley stretched below them, filled with green trees and sparkling rivers. "It's beautiful," Lyra exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. "Just wait until we reach the top of the mountain," Alex said, encouraging her to keep going. They continued hiking, chatting, and laughing. Lyra felt lighter and happier with each step. She was finally enjoying life, feeling free from the fears of her past. But suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the forest. Lyra stopped in her tracks, her heart racing. "What was that?" she asked, eyes wide with alarm. "I'm not sure," Alex replied, frowning. "Let's go check it out." As they moved toward the sound, Lyra's excitement turned into nervousness. The trees were thick, and shadows danced around them. She clutched Alex's arm, trying to stay close. When they arrived at the source of the noise, they found a small spaceship lying on the ground, smoke billowing from its engine. It looked different from Lyra's ship, smaller and damaged. "Is it another alien ship?" Alex asked, looking worried. Lyra stepped forward, feeling a strange pull. "I think so, but it looks hurt." Before they could investigate further, a door opened on the spaceship and a figure stumbled out. It was another alien, but this one looked frightened and confused. He had blue skin and large eyes that darted around. "Help, please," the alien cried, gasping for air. Lyra felt a rush of compassion. "We have to help him," she said, turning to Alex. "Are you sure? We don't know who he is," Alex replied, hesitating. Lyra took a deep breath, remembering her own fears when she first arrived on Earth. "But we can't leave him like this. We have to try." "Okay, let's do it," Alex agreed, and they rushed to the alien side. "What happened?" Lyra asked gently, kneeling next to him. "I was attacked by space pirates," the alien gasped, clutching his side. "They shot my ship. I barely escaped." Alex looked worried. "We need to get him help fast. Do you think you can fix the ship?" Lyra nodded, feeling a sense of purpose. "I can try. I learned some things on Solara." As Lyra examined the damaged ship, she focused on the broken parts. Alex helped by gathering tools and materials nearby. The two of them worked together, and Lyra felt a surge of confidence. "I can help you," the alien said, his eyes wide with hope. "Thank you." They worked for what felt like hours, and Lyra started to feel tired. But she pushed through, determined to help. Finally, she managed to fix the engine enough to start the ship. "Try it now," Lyra said, stepping back. The alien climbed into the cockpit, hands shaking with excitement. "Thank you. You saved my life," he exclaimed. With a flick of switches, the engine roared to life. The alien's eyes filled with tears of gratitude. "I must go now. You are good beings. I will remember this." As the alien ship lifted off the ground, Lyra felt a strange mix of happiness and sadness. She had helped someone in need, just like Alex had helped her. "We did it," Alex shouted, cheering. "Yes, we did," Lyra replied, her heart soaring. But just as they celebrated, the sound of thunder echoed through the mountains. Dark clouds gathered quickly, blocking the sun. "Oh, looks like a storm is coming," Alex said, glancing up. Lyra's heart sank. "What should we do?" she asked, fear creeping back in. "We need to find shelter fast," Alex shouted. They began to run down the mountain, but the rain started pouring down, making the ground slippery. Lyra stumbled, and Alex caught her just in time. "Hold on tight," he yelled, leading her through the rain. They pushed through the storm, determined to find safety. Lyra felt a rush of adrenaline as they ran together, trusting Alex to lead her through the chaos. This adventure was unexpected, but it was also thrilling. As they finally spotted a cave up ahead, Lyra realized she was no longer afraid. With Alex by her side, she felt strong and ready to face anything. Together, they could handle whatever the world threw at them. Facing the past, the storm raged outside the cave, and the sound of raindrops hitting the rocks echoed like drums. Lyra and Alex sat together, catching their breath after their unexpected adventure. The warm air inside the cave felt like a safe haven compared to the chaos outside. "I can't believe we helped that alien," Lyra said, a smile spreading across her face. "I didn't know I could do that." Alex grinned back at her. "You were amazing. You saved his life. You're a hero." Lyra's heart swelled with pride, but soon a shadow passed over her joy. The memories of her past began to creep into her mind. She had never felt like a hero on Solara. Instead, she had been scared, alone, and often hiding from danger. "What's wrong?" Alex asked, noticing the change in her expression. Lyra sighed, looking down at her hands. "I remember my home. On Solara, I was always afraid. I did nothing but hide from the fighting. I wish I could have been brave like that alien." Alex reached out and took her hand. "But you are brave now, Lyra. You faced danger today, and you helped someone in need. That's what really matters." "But what if I can't be brave again?" Lyra said, her voice barely above a whisper. "What if I always run away?" Alex shook his head. "You're not that person anymore. You've come so far. You're learning to trust and to help others. Remember how you helped me when I first found you." Lyra remembered the kindness she had felt when Alex had reached out to her. "Yes, but that was different. I was scared then too." "It doesn't matter. The important thing is that you took a chance," Alex said gently. "Every time you face your fears, you grow stronger." Lyra looked at him, her heart aching with both gratitude and sadness. "You don't understand. I've seen terrible things. The fighting, the pain. I lost so many friends and family." "Tell me about it," Alex encouraged, leaning closer. "Maybe it will help." Taking a deep breath, Lyra decided to share her past. "When the war started on Zolara, I was just a child. I watched as my friends ran away scared. I lost my parents during a battle. I had to survive on my own, hiding in the shadows." Tears filled her eyes as she spoke. "I was so alone. I learned to trust no one. I thought everyone would betray me, just like the soldiers who invaded my home. I don't want to feel that way again." Alex listened intently, his eyes filled with compassion. "I'm so sorry, Lyra. You've been through so much. It's okay to feel scared. But you're safe here. I promise I won't let anything happen to you." Lyra nodded but felt the weight of her past pressing down on her. "But how can I let go? It keeps coming back, haunting me." "Maybe facing those memories is part of letting go," Alex suggested softly. "You can't change the past, but you can control how you let it affect your future." Lyra wiped her tears away, trying to process his words. "You're right. I can't change what happened, but I can choose to be different now. I can choose to help others, like the alien we saved." "Exactly." Alex smiled. "You're not alone anymore. We're in this together." Just then, a loud crash of thunder shook the cave. Lyra jumped, her heart racing. The storm outside was fierce, but she reminded herself that she was safe inside with Alex. "Let's distract ourselves from the storm," Alex said, trying to lighten the mood. "How about we play a game?" Lyra raised an eyebrow. "A game? What kind?" "Let's do a would you rather game," he suggested. "I'll start. Would you rather fly through space or climb the highest mountain on Earth?" Lyra laughed, grateful for the change in atmosphere. I think I would choose to fly through space. It sounds exciting." "Great choice. Now it's my turn," Alex said, thinking hard. "Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or be able to breathe underwater?" "I think I'd like to talk to animals. It would be fun to know what they are thinking." Lyra replied, feeling lighter as they continued to play. As the game went on, the storm outside began to fade. Lyra found herself laughing and smiling, forgetting about the rain and her past. With each joke and playful challenge, she felt the heavy weight on her heart begin to lift. But then, as they settled into a comfortable silence, Lyra looked at Alex and said, "Thank you for being here. You make it easier to face my fears." "You're doing all the hard work," Alex replied. "You're the one who's brave enough to confront your past. I'm just happy to help." Lyra smiled, feeling a sense of hope and strength she had never felt before. Maybe she could learn to let go of her fears. Maybe she could learn to trust again. With Alex by her side, she felt like she could face anything. As the last echoes of thunder faded into the distance, Lyra took a deep breath. The storm was passing, both outside and within her. She was ready to embrace the future, no matter what challenges lay ahead. Trust tested. As the storm finally passed, Lyra and Alex emerged from the cave. The sun shone brightly, and the air felt fresh and clean. Lyra took a deep breath, grateful for the warmth of the sun on her skin. She felt a sense of hope rising within her. After facing her past, she was ready to move forward. "Look at the view," Alex exclaimed, pointing at the landscape. The mountains stood tall, their peaks glimmering in the sunlight. The valley below was alive with colors. Green trees, blue rivers, and vibrant flowers. "It's beautiful," Lyra agreed, her heart filled with joy. They stood together, soaking in the beauty of the world around them. But just as Lyra began to relax, a shadow passed over her joy. She remembered how vulnerable she felt when sharing her past with Alex. What if he didn't really trust her after everything she had told him? "Are you ready to head back?" Alex asked, breaking her thoughts. "But yes, let's go," Lyra replied, forcing a smile. As they began to hike down the mountain, Lyra couldn't shake the feeling of unease. During the hike, Lyra noticed Alex's mood shift. He became quiet, and his usual bright smile faded. "Alex, what's wrong?" she asked, concerned. He hesitated before answering. "I'm just worried about what could happen next. We face danger with the spaceship, and I don't know if more trouble is coming." Lyra felt a knot tighten in her stomach. "Do you think we'll be in danger again?" "I hope not, but I can't shake the feeling," Alex admitted. "And I worry about how you'll react if something happens." The words stung. Lyra felt a wave of shame wash over her. "You think I'm still scared? That I'll run away?" Alex looked at her, his eyes sincere. "No, I don't think that. I just want to make sure you're okay. I care about you, Lyra." "I care about you too," Lyra said, feeling a mixture of anger and sadness. "But I don't want you to doubt me. I'm trying to be brave and trust you." Alex sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I know. I want to protect you. It's hard for me too." Lyra felt a pang of frustration. "But protecting me shouldn't mean doubting me. We're in this together, remember?" "Of course. I don't want to see you hurt," Alex replied, his voice softer. Lyra took a deep breath. "I understand. But if we're going to trust each other, we have to be honest, even when it's hard." Alex nodded, realizing she was right. They continued their descent in silence, the weight of unspoken words hanging between them. As they reached the base of the mountain, they saw a group of hikers in the distance. They were laughing and taking pictures, their energy infectious. Lyra felt a surge of excitement and a desire to join in the fun. "Let's go say hi," she suggested, her heart racing with anticipation. Alex hesitated, glancing back at the path they had just come down. "Are you sure? We don't know them. But they look friendly. We can meet new people and have fun," Lyra insisted, her eyes shining. "Okay, let's go," Alex agreed reluctantly. As they approached the group, Lyra's excitement grew. The hikers welcomed them with open arms, offering snacks and sharing stories of their adventures. Lyra laughed, enjoying the warm atmosphere. It felt good to be around people again. But as the sun began to set, Lyra noticed a man in the group watching her closely. He had dark hair and a serious expression. Every time she looked his way, he seemed to be studying her. "Who is that guy?" Lyra whispered to Alex, pointing discreetly. "I'm not sure," Alex replied, his brow furrowing. "He looks familiar, though." Just then, the man walked over to them. "Hey there, I'm Marco," he said, introducing himself. "I couldn't help but notice you too. You're not from around here, are you?" Lyra's heart raced. "No, we just arrived. I'm Lyra, and this is Alex." "Nice to meet you," Marco replied, his eyes lingering on Lyra. "You're different from the other hikers. Where are you really from?" Lyra felt a chill run down her spine. She hesitated, unsure of how much to reveal. "I come from a distant planet," she said, choosing her words carefully. Marco's expression shifted, and Lyra could see suspicion in his eyes. "A distant planet. That sounds interesting. What's it like?" Alex stepped in, sensing Lyra's discomfort. "It's very different from Earth, but we're here to enjoy our time, just like everyone else." Marco narrowed his eyes. "Sure, but I've heard stories about aliens. You never know who you can trust." Lyra felt her heart sink. Was this what Alex had feared? "I'm not dangerous," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "I just want to learn and be part of this world." The tension in the air thickened. Alex stood protectively beside her, his body tense. "We're all here to have fun. Let's keep it friendly, okay?" he said, his tone firm. Marco scoffed, crossing his arms. "We'll see about that." Lyra felt a wave of panic. Was her trust being tested again? She looked at Alex, searching for reassurance, but he seemed just as uneasy. "We should go," Lyra whispered to Alex. "Yeah, let's get out of here," he replied quietly. As they turned to leave, Lyra felt a mix of anger and fear. Why did her past always come back to haunt her? Would she ever truly be free from judgment and suspicion? As they walked away from the group, Lyra felt tears prick at her eyes. "Why can't people just accept me?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Don't let him get to you," Alex said, squeezing her hand. "You are strong, and you are not alone. We'll face this together." Lyra took a deep breath, trying to shake off the fear. "I'm trying, but it's hard. What if I can't trust anyone?" "You can trust me," Alex assured her, his eyes warm and steady. "We'll find a way through this. Together." Lyra nodded, feeling the strength of their bond. No matter the challenges ahead, she knew that with Alex by her side, she could face anything. They would learn to trust each other, one step at a time. Finding joy. The sun rose on a new day, shining brightly over the valley. Lyra and Alex woke up in their cozy campsite, surrounded by tall trees and the sweet sound of birds singing. After the tension of the previous day, Lyra felt a new sense of hope. "Good morning," Alex said cheerfully, stretching his arms above his head. "Ready for another adventure?" Lyra smiled, feeling lighter. "Yes. What do you have in mind today?" "I thought we could explore the river nearby. I heard there are beautiful waterfalls," he suggested, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "That sounds amazing," Lyra replied, her heart racing with joy. She could already picture the cool water and the sound of the falls. They packed their bags and set off toward the river. The walk was filled with laughter and chatter. Lyra felt happy to be with Alex. He had a way of making her forget her worries and enjoy the moment. As they walked, they saw bright flowers blooming along the path and butterflies dancing in the air. Lyra stopped to admire a butterfly with wings of blue and gold. "Look at this one. It's beautiful," she exclaimed. "Nature is full of surprises," Alex said, joining her. "Just like you." Lyra's cheeks flushed at his compliment. "I'm just trying to enjoy life, like you do." They continued walking, and soon they reached the riverbank. The water flowed swiftly, sparkling in the sunlight. Lyra could hear the sound of the waterfall in the distance. "Let's go see it," Alex said, and they hurried down the rocky path. As they got closer, the sound of rushing water grew louder, filling Lyra with excitement. When they finally reached the waterfall, Lyra gasped. The water cascaded down the rocks, creating a stunning display of shimmering droplets. A rainbow formed in the mist, adding to the beauty. "It's incredible," Lyra said, her eyes wide with wonder. "Let's get closer," Alex shouted, running toward the water. Lyra followed, feeling the cool spray on her face. They reached the edge of the falls, and Alex laughed as he splashed water into the air. Lyra couldn't help but join in, her laughter echoing in the open space. For a moment, all her worries faded away. She was no longer the scared girl hiding from her past. She was Lyra, the brave explorer discovering the wonders of Earth. "Let's swim," Alex suggested, his voice filled with joy. Lyra hesitated for a moment. "Are you sure it's safe?" she asked, looking at the rushing water. "Absolutely. Come on, it'll be fun," Alex urged, pulling off his shirt. With a deep breath, Lyra joined him, taking off her clothes and running into the cool water. The shock of the cold made her gasp, but it felt refreshing and freeing. They splashed around, swimming and laughing, feeling like children again. Lyra felt the water wash away her fears and doubts. In that moment, she was filled with pure joy. "Look, I can do a cannonball," Alex shouted, jumping high into the air before crashing into the water. Lyra laughed, impressed by his silly antics. "Show off," she teased, trying to do her own jump. She leaped into the air but landed awkwardly, causing a big splash that soaked both of them. "Nice one," Alex said, grinning at her. "You're getting the hang of it." As they swam, Lyra noticed the sun shining through the trees, casting beautiful patterns on the water. She felt alive, as if every worry and fear had been washed away. After a while, they took a break on the riverbank, lying on the warm rocks. Lyra looked up at the sky, watching the clouds drift lazily by. "I never imagined I could feel this happy," she admitted, turning to Alex. "I'm glad you're feeling this way," he said, looking at her with warmth in his eyes. "You deserve it." Lyra felt a blush creeping up her cheeks. "Thank you for being such a good friend. I really appreciate it." "Always," Alex replied, a smile playing on his lips. "And you know, it's okay to let go of the past. You're building a new life here." Lyra nodded, thinking about his words. She realized how far she had come since arriving on Earth. She was no longer the scared girl running from danger. She was Lyra, a strong woman who was learning to trust and find joy in life. Suddenly, a loud splash interrupted her thoughts. A group of children had arrived at the river, laughing and playing in the water. Lyra watched as they played, feeling a spark of nostalgia. "Let's join them," she said excitedly, jumping to her feet. "Really? You want to?" Alex asked, surprised. "Of course. They look like they're having so much fun," Lyra replied, eager to be part of their joy. As they approached the children, Lyra felt a rush of happiness. She joined in their games, splashing water and laughing as they played tag in the river. The children welcomed her with open arms, their laughter filling the air. Lyra realized she was finally feeling free. She was no longer weighed down by her past. Instead, she was filled with joy and lightness, ready to embrace whatever life had to offer. After playing for a while, Lyra and Alex finally took a break, sitting on the riverbank and watching the children. Lyra smiled at Alex, feeling grateful for his friendship. "Thank you for showing me this," she said softly. "I'm learning to find joy again." Alex smiled back, his eyes shining. "And you're doing it beautifully. You deserve every moment of happiness." As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the river, Lyra felt a sense of peace wash over her. She was not just a survivor. She was a warrior, ready to face the world with joy and love in her heart. A new beginning. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink. Lyra sat by the riverbank with Alex, feeling the cool evening breeze on her skin. After a day filled with laughter and joy, she felt more at home than ever before. "Today was amazing," Lyra said, glancing at Alex. "Playing with the kids reminded me of happier times. I'm glad you enjoyed it." Alex replied, a warm smile on his face. "You really came alive out there." Lyra nodded, her heart swelling with gratitude. "I've learned so much from you. You've helped me trust again and find joy in life." Alex looked at her, his expression serious. "You've done all the hard work, Lyra. You've faced your fears, and that takes real courage." As they sat together, Lyra thought about how far she had come since arriving on Earth. The memories of her past were still there, but they no longer held power over her. Instead, she felt ready to embrace a new beginning. "I think I'm finally ready to let go of my past," Lyra said softly. "It's time to move forward and create new memories." Alex turned to her, his eyes bright with understanding. "That's a beautiful choice, Lyra. You deserve to live fully and enjoy every moment." Just then, a group of fireflies began to dance in the air, twinkling like tiny stars. Lyra watched in awe as they lit up the night. It felt magical, and she couldn't help but smile. "Look at them. They're so beautiful," she exclaimed, reaching out her hand to catch one. Alex laughed. "They're like little sparks of happiness, just like you." Feeling a rush of excitement, Lyra stood up and spun around, trying to catch the fireflies. "Come on, let's chase them." They ran along the riverbank, laughter echoing through the air. Lyra felt a sense of freedom as she twirled and danced. In that moment, she was no longer a girl haunted by her past. She was alive, and she was ready for whatever came next. After a while, they collapsed onto the grass, breathing heavily but filled with joy. Lyra lay back, staring up at the stars that were beginning to twinkle in the darkening sky. "Do you think there's life out there?" she asked, her voice thoughtful. "Maybe. There are so many stars. It's possible," Alex replied, joining her in gazing up at the vastness above them. "I used to be afraid of the unknown," Lyra said, reflecting on her journey. "But now, I see it as a chance for adventure, a chance to discover new things." "I feel the same way," Alex said, turning to look at her. "Every day with you is an adventure." Lyra smiled, feeling warmth spread through her chest. "I never thought I could feel this way again. Thank you for being part of my journey." Alex turned serious for a moment. "Just remember, no matter what happens, I'll always be here for you." Lyra's heart fluttered at his words. She realized how much Alex meant to her. He had not only become her friend, but also her support, guiding her through the darkness. "I appreciate that, Alex. You've shown me that trust can be rebuilt," she said, looking into his eyes. "And I want to be there for you too." As the fireflies continued to dance around them, Lyra felt a sense of belonging she had longed for. For the first time, she felt truly at home. Suddenly, Alex sat up, a thoughtful expression on his face. "What do you want to do next?" Lyra pondered the question. "I want to explore more of this planet. I want to learn about Earth's cultures, meet new people, and share my own story." "That sounds amazing," Alex exclaimed, his excitement contagious. "We can travel together and discover everything this world has to offer." "Together," Lyra repeated, her heart filled with joy. The thought of embarking on new adventures with Alex made her smile wider. As night fell, they talked about their dreams and plans for the future. Lyra shared her hopes of helping others, just like Alex had helped her. She wanted to spread joy and kindness wherever she went. "Your light will shine wherever you go," Alex said, his eyes sparkling with admiration. As the stars filled the night sky, Lyra felt a sense of purpose blossoming within her. She was ready to write a new chapter in her life, one filled with hope and happiness. "We should make a promise," Lyra suggested, looking at Alex with determination. "A promise to always support each other and to never give up on our dreams." "I promise," Alex said firmly, extending his pinky finger toward her. Lyra laughed, wrapping her pinky around his. "Together, we'll explore this world," she said with excitement. "And who knows, maybe one day we'll even explore the stars." As they sat there, surrounded by fireflies and stars, Lyra felt an overwhelming sense of peace. The past was no longer a burden. Instead, it was a part of her journey that had led her to this moment, a moment filled with friendship, trust, and endless possibilities. With a heart full of hope, Lyra closed her eyes, ready to embrace whatever the future held. She had found joy, and now she was ready for a new beginning.